It's the Eagle Community Television Forum with your host, Gary Shorman.
You're watching the Eagle Community Television Forum. I'm Mike Kerner in for Gary Shorman this week. The forum brought to you by Hayes Med. And our guest this week on the forum is Executive Director of Kansas Next Step, Allison Ochoa. Good to have you back.
Thank you. I'm glad to be back.
You've been on this show before.
I have a few times, yeah.
And we were over at Dillon's. You were at that location, I remember.
Yes, the last time was over at Dillon's, and I had the beeping in the background.
Well, you also had a chance to get your groceries with the family afterwards, too.
I did, absolutely.
But a chance now to come in and talk to us now. We're in the studio, and we wanted to talk to you about an upcoming seminar. But, you know, before we get into that, I want to talk to you a little bit about Kansas Next Step.
Yes.
There's a lot of people out there that have heard the name. They've seen you, they know you too, and then they put it all together, but they really don't know what Kansas Next Step does. Can you maybe explain that a little bit?
Sure. Kansas Next Step is a nonprofit organization here in Hayes. Deb Denning started it back in 2003, so we're going on 15 years now, which is amazing. But our primary focus is serving students of any age. It can be from kindergarten, we've served them up through college, just motivated learners who are seeking out unique and exciting educational opportunities. There are so many opportunities that, because of our limited resources within our schools, and everybody knows about budget cuts and things of that nature, that these kids don't get to take advantage of. And so a lot of times, they're seeking out opportunities on their own to further their education, whether it be formal education, something that has to do with, maybe an area that they want to emphasize in college or that they want to major in. It also could be things outside the classroom, where you're getting public speaking skills as far as part of like a 4-H horse panorama type of a thing. We also have some in the past, we've helped fund students opportunities to go to like day-long seminars at the Institute of Baking there on the K-State campus. So I mean, the opportunities are really varied, but we really are here to serve students and help them achieve or be able to make a reality those dreams of doing things outside the formal classroom that are going to help them down the line.
Well, I'm trying to figure out the link here. How do they find out about your organization and requesting money for maybe these scholarships or the money to go to these programs? Or how do they maybe find out? What do? Do they just approach you after they find out about it? Or how does that work?
Right. We have a presence on the web. We've also been in enough of the schools presenting awards and things that they're familiar with us. We've got good relationships with a lot of the schools in this area, and so they know that they can contact us for information about financial assistance. We're not a scholarship organization. There are a lot of organizations out there that the rules come down from the government as far as how you work to distribute scholarships, but we do provide financial assistance for students for various opportunities.
Are they like short-term loans, or is it just money just so they can go to these programs?
It's money so they can go to the programs. There is a stipulation, as far as things like volunteer hours, they need to give back in some way. They also have there's a litany of things that they have to do in order to be eligible for the loan or for the financial assistance, as well as a litany of things they need to do to actually get the reimbursement check. So it's all paid by them up front. So for example, we've had students who have gone to different camps, like an engineering camp, and they paid for it up front, and then we reimburse them after they meet all the requirements. So it's it's not complicated, but you just have to make sure you follow all the steps.
Sure.
But we do have really great relationships with a lot of the instructors, a lot of the educators in the area. We've even got some really great relationships built up with people along I-70 in eastern Kansas, down in the Great Bend area. So our name is getting out there after 15 years. I think Deb did a great job of promoting what Kansas Next Step is and does, and really, laying the foundation for all those relationships. So that's made my job a lot easier, actually.
That's very good. Now, you hear Kansas Next Step, and it sounds like a large name,
Right.
like it covers the state of Kansas. Is that for the state of Kansas for these students, or is it just localized?
No, it's for anybody, and it's Kansas Next Step just because that's where we're based. But people from, I think we've had somebody from California apply for things. We've had people from Nebraska apply for things. So the applicants can be from anywhere. And again, they can be from any age. We've funded things for preschool and kindergarten classes, all the way up through college. We've had a couple of just recent interns who applied for assistance because they were either doing something, they both happen to be medical, but on the national scale, and one of them did an international internship. But they both, they're already, almost through their college education, but they needed this internship. They found out about us, and so they applied. We were able to award them some funding, and then, it's just amazing. They're not from here, you know, they're from Eastern Kansas or they're from Missouri or wherever, and so it makes it really nice that people that far away are getting the information about KNS.
Well, I knew you had an office in the Hadley Center,
Yes.
and I don't know if it's open all the time. Maybe the website's the best place to go, but do you have other offices across the state?
No, just in Hayes. We're a very small organization. I'm the only person on staff, which is nice and at the same time sometimes a challenge, but we don't have regular office hours, but we do. You can contact us anytime via email. Our email address is connect@kansasnextstep.org. You can also check us out on the web at kansasnextstep.org, and we've got information about all of our upcoming, like our seminar that we're going to be speaking about here shortly. We also have things like our Star Student and Teacher and Support Staff Member of the Month. So those pieces of information on there. All of our applications are on the website. You know, it's kind of a full service, one-stop shop.
Yeah, I saw your website recently, and you've got the star on there, and it's a young girl that has Thomas More Prep Marion logo on her shirt.
Yes, we've in the last, well, since I've been here, so about almost 18 months now, you know, we've awarded, it's been almost $8,000 in awards for being, you know, exceptional students both in the classroom and outside the classroom. And so the Star Teachers, let's see, it's the Star Student, Teacher, and Support Staff Member of the Month. With all of those, I mean, we're just recognizing exceptionalism in the schools, because a lot of those people don't get recognized on a regular basis. And all of us know that, you know, anytime you can kind of raise up the unsung heroes, that, you know, it's great for everybody.
And it's great for their confidence
It
too.
it is.
All right, now we're going to kind of take a break here, and in the second part of the show, I want to talk to you a little bit about how do you raise money for these gifts that you give to people, and then you've got a seminar that's coming up too, and we'll kind of talk to you about that, since they kind of link together a little bit. So we'll get into that in the second part of the show. Again, Allison Ochoa is our guest today on the forum, and Allison is with the Kansas Next Step Executive Director. So we'll talk to her more in the second half of the show. It's brought to you by Hayes Med.
Hayes Med is your first and best choice for healthcare. They're the only facility providing tertiary level services in this region. With more than 70 physicians and 26 specialties ranging from heart, orthopedic, spine care, cancer, obstetrics and gynecology, wound care, rehabilitation and surgery, including the Da Vinci robotic surgery, Hayes Med is your comprehensive health provider for people throughout Western Kansas. Hayes Med, helping people be healthy.
It's a beautiful day in our super high-speed internet great customer service neighborhood. Like you, this is where we live. In fact, our company is employee-owned, so it's our goal to improve the quality of life for everyone in our community by delivering faster, more reliable internet, clearer, more feature-laden phone service, quality TV channels, all with the level of customer service you'd expect from people who are your neighbors. Eagle Communications, our community connected.
You're watching The Forum on Eagle Community Television. I'm Mike Kerner in for Gary Shorman. By the way, if you've got any show ideas, guest ideas, Gary would love to hear from you. That's gary.shorman@eaglecom.net. You could also watch the show on Facebook. I guess we've got a site there too. And then we also have our Hayes Post site where you can watch the show as well. Again, this is Allison Ochoa. She is our guest today, and she is with Kansas Next Step. She's the executive director. And we were talking to her a little bit about students and how they can get grants and money and that for programs that they go to. But my next step is, you know, you've got money going out, but how do you get money coming in, and where do you get that money that comes in? Who do you get that from?
Well, we get it from a variety of sources. Our primary fundraiser, which we'll talk about here in just a moment, is our oil and gas seminar. We've had that, this will be I think it's the 8th or 9th year that we'll have the seminar going on. But we also have private donors who are just generous enough to, you know, make a donation to us every year, and we appreciate any money that wants to come in and anybody who wants to you know, help us reach our mission in serving those students who are seeking out those educational opportunities. But our oil and gas seminar, we actually took a break last year. We didn't have one. That was when the oil industry was kind of starting its downhill slide. But this year we're bringing it back, and we hope to make it just better than ever. It's a 3-day seminar. We've got it scheduled for April 5th, 6th, and 7th of 2016, so coming up here in just a couple of months. And we are targeting a variety of people involved in the oil and gas industry. So it could be anybody from you know, oil and gas production people to executives to geophysicists and geologists. And we even have had several students indicate that they're interested in coming out. And generally these are students who are studying oil and gas production or engineering or something of that nature.
Now, do they have to sign up ahead of time? I would assume so.
Right.
And they do that through the website?
Yes, we actually will have about between email and a brochure that we'll send out, we're going to be hitting about 10,000 people. I mean, just to promote the registration information and promote the seminar. So we will have actual information on our website that you can print off and register that way. If you would prefer to get some sort of information in the mail, you can certainly contact our office. We're in the Hadley Center, Suite 203, where it's the Hadley Center is 205 East 7th Street, and we're Suite 203 here in Hayes. So they can contact us that way, or go to kansasnextstep.org and download the information. And all of that information will be available the first part of February. We're just finalizing things right now. So they'll have a list of all of the things that are happening on all 3 days of the seminar. It's a 3-day seminar, which is a lot of work, but I think you really get your money's worth when it comes down to it.
Well, my next question was going to be based on that. It was, what is the agenda? Is the agenda set yet, or are you still kind of working on that?
For the most part, we have the kind of the overall picture set. The first day is going to include 2 mini courses. The first mini course is a seismic interpretation course, which is facilitated by Dr. Hendrada Ali, who's from here at Fort Hays. We also have Dr. Susan Nyson and Dr. Raef from K-State. They will be here to help facilitate that course. The second mini course that we have is Understanding Old Time Logs, and that's presented by Dr. Gary Stewart, who is an independent oil and gas consultant. So those 2 events will happen on April the 5th. In addition to those 2 events, we have an event that's kind of backed by popular demand. We had Jerry Green, who is a local, a guy who's very, very involved locally in various geology sort of pursuits, but he has led a fossil and outcropping tour. He did that for us last year, and it was a huge success. We went... we were somewhere in the middle of Trigo County. We went down in, I don't even remember all the counties we were in, but we were looking for fossils, and we ran into some snakes, and I mean, we got to bring home a few fossils with us, little ones. So that was kind of a fun deal for everybody who went on that trip. And we had enough people who said, I want to go again, that we're going to offer that again. So that's all happening on day number 1. And then Wednesday and Thursday, which would be the 6th and the 7th, we'll actually have the on-site seminar portion of things, and that also includes a vendor fair. But we have a variety of topics, a variety of people who will be presenting, and some of these, like I'll just list a few of them. We've got information on how to deal with legacy seismic data in the cloud. We have a couple of individuals from Washburn University, Dr. David Pierce and Dr. Leslie Roundtree, who are going to be talking about legalities surrounding the oil industry. We have some representatives from Oklahoma State University who will speak on remote sensing and structural geomorphology. And they're also going to be talking about central Kansas specifically, but giving some examples from throughout the mid-continent region. And then we've got things like earthquakes and injection wells, the use of microseismic for frac monitoring. Dr. Lynn Watney of the Kansas Geological Survey is going to be providing updates on KGS projects. That's just a few of the things, and I'll be honest, I was a communication major. I was not involved in the oil and gas industry, but I learned a lot last year, and I'm hoping to learn just as much this year with these topics. I don't know, some of them confuse me, and I'm sure I will be equally confused as I'm listening to them, but for those individuals who have attended our seminars in the past, they have all walked away saying, I learned so much. This was so valuable to me, and to be able to have it in Hays, Kansas, where it's fairly centrally located. We've got people from Oklahoma and Colorado and Nebraska coming, as well as people from throughout Kansas. So that it makes us feel like what we're doing is a good thing. And one thing I want to mention is we understand, right now oil and gas, the industry it's hurting. Mm-hmm. And so we completely understand that. And that's when you look at the information that we've got as far as registration and things that we've got as far as sponsorships, we have slashed the prices because we want to let people know we understand that it's a struggle right now, but we think that by participating in this particular event that it'll give everybody a leg up once things start to to move back up and rebound.
Well, my next question is, in the legal industry, in the education industry, you have to have continuing education credits.
Right.
Is that offered in this? I don't know about that industry.
Sure.
So is that offered with these mini seminars?
We do. I won't get into them right now, but we do have continuing ed credits available that anybody who's interested, they can check off that box when they send in their registration information, and we'll make sure that they get all of the credits that they need and the certificate that they need to be able to turn those in. But yes, so we've got continuing ed credits. A lot of things too just happen, and I mean, you know this as well as anybody, the networking that happens at events and seminars. We're hoping that that also helps, because once things start to rebound, I mean, people are going to be looking for, you know, all those pieces that fit into the production puzzle and all those pieces that fit into the sales puzzle. You know, they're going to need new clients. They're going to need new contacts within the industry to get things done. And so we think that this will definitely give those individuals the leg up and, you know, give them the advantage that they're going to need once things start to move back up.
Where do you do these seminars at?
This year we're holding it out at the Ellis County Fairgrounds. That will be for the 6th and the 7th. Now for our mini courses, the locations vary. And then obviously the fossil tour is going to be a driving tour. So you'll be all over Northwest Kansas, I'm sure.
So people need to find out about that, find out more about these seminars by going on your website, and,
Yes.
and where do we find that?
kansasnextstep.org. You can find us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So just log on and you know, or get on your phone or whatever, and look us up. We've got a lot of information that will be out there. And you can always just give us a call. Our number is 432-7837, and that's a local Hayes number. So people can contact us, they can email us. You know, we're more than happy to answer any questions that we can anytime we can.
And there's also rumors out there that you guys are on the social media, so Facebook
Oh,
and
yes.
also Twitter.
Yes, Twitter, Facebook. We've got Pinterest, if you're interested in Pinterest, and that's mostly for our students that are looking things up, you know, needing resources and stuff. But yes, so we're on all of those platforms.
Very good. Well,
Yeah,
thanks for coming.
thank
Anything
you.
that I've missed or didn't ask you today that you need to get across to the people?
No, I think we're good. I mean, if anybody is interested in learning more about Kansas Next Step, please give us a call. If you're interested in donating to Kansas Next Step or sponsoring our oil and gas seminar, we'd love to talk to you as well. Just, you know, let us know what we can do to serve you.
Just go to your website.
That's right.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much
thank
for being
you.
our guest today.
Thank you.
Again, Allison Ochoa, she is the Executive Director of Kansas Next Step, on the forum this week. Brought to you by Hayes Med. I'm Mike Kerner in for Gary Shorman. Thanks for joining us this week.
Hayes Med is your first and best choice for healthcare. They're the only facility providing tertiary level services in this region. With more than 70 physicians and 26 specialties ranging from heart, orthopedic, spine care, cancer, obstetrics and gynecology, wound care, rehabilitation and surgery, including the Da Vinci robotic surgery, Hayes Med is your comprehensive health provider for people throughout Western Kansas. Hayes Med, helping people be healthy.